Why are you following me? Why do you care about this game? If this is your first time watching, my name is Larissa and I am an indie game developer working on my first game called Mole's Best Friend. It's a 2D point-and-click adventure, cozy game. I'm trying to document my journey in indie game development, and I feel like this past weekend was one of the biggest steps for me, which was going to a game convention. I went to PAX West and I had a lot of fun. It was super busy. I just went as an attendee, but I decided to take the opportunity to try to network with people and also spread the word about my game. So I wore t-shirts along with my husband and I passed out stickers and business cards with information about my game and my studio. You don't necessarily need those things, but I did, and I found it very helpful, especially with my shirt. People would approach us because it says, ask me about Mole's Best Friend. People would say, hey, so what's Mole's Best Friend? Tell me about Mole's Best Friend. Or I like your shirt. I love the art. And I would be able to say, thanks, I drew it. It's my game. And I had the whole story for them. There was some stuff that I had read online that if you want to network with game devs, PAX isn't the place to go because PAX is more consumer facing. I didn't find that to be true. Obviously it is a consumer facing thing because people are trying to sell their games, demo their games, but there's also plenty of devs there that I was able to meet and chat with and exchange information with. So I think if you're determined enough, you can network anywhere. I'm kind of that person who will just talk to anybody in like the hot dog line or on the escalator and tell them about what's going on in my world. So if you're that type of person too, I recommend just go to the conference and talk about yourself and your game. There was really positive feedback. It never felt like anybody was trying to escape from my spiel, so that was fun. They want to know if it was on Steam yet, where they could find it. I feel more prepared now for future questions about the development of the game. There was a couple of major moments for me at the event. I went to a indie game dev meetup. It turned into a bit of a pitch workshop because there were so many people and I was chosen. People were just kind of raising their hands to pitch their game, and so I did that just to try. And I would say my pitch was something like this. Hello, my name is Larissa. I'm a cartoonist turned game dev, and I'm working on a 2D cozy point-and-click adventure game called Mole's Best Friend. You can see my shirt. It's about a mole named Topo. Topo means mole in Spanish, who is going about his day-to-day routine. He doesn't really like to stray from the path. And one day his best friend, Scrunch, who is a beetle, goes missing after an explosive argument, and he has to go find her, save the world, and encounters a lot of magic along the way. I am solo developing this in Visionaire studio, and I'm just looking to get eyes on my prototype and see if there's any kind of cross collaboration I can do with other game devs in the room. And I have stickers and business cards if anyone is interested in grabbing those from me today. That was kind of the gist of my pitch, but this was my first attempt at doing an elevator pitch to a room full of people. There were probably about, let's say, 40 or 50 people in the room. Some feedback I got was that I need to lean into the coziness more because people who are into cozy games are super serious about them. So really highlight that. And this person that gave that feedback also said that it kind of seems like a storybook, so try to lean into that as well, which I've gotten that before too, that it feels like a storybook. I forgot to mention in my pitch, I described it as kind of a mix of Monkey Island and Animal Crossing, and someone else said, my favorite thing about Animal Crossing is the customization and kind of building my own wardrobe and house and things like that. Is there anything like that in the game? And I said, I want to be wary of scope creep because I'm solo developing. There was a point where I was considering doing something like Little Kitty Big City, where you choose all these hats and stuff as achievements, but because I'm on my own, I don't want to get too bogged down in the details right now, and that person who gave the feedback was understanding. I would say, yeah, generally my pitch was well received. I got laughs, I got smiles in the room. There were some people that approached me afterwards and said they were interested in my game and collaborating in some way, shape, or form. So I was really happy that I was able to do that. And I was grateful that this opportunity presented itself to kind of just talk about my game. Some questions I got from the facilitator was asking me like what my hook is or what the stickiness is of my game. So stickiness is like, why do people keep wanting to come back to my game? Why do people want to tell people about my game? And I think that's where I struggled with. And I kind of leaned on, well, the artwork is really strong. The world building, it's really beautiful and cozy, and like there'll be good music and stuff. And I'm an illustrator with like over a decade of experience, and then I like kind of like how I'm doing now is kind of like fizzling out of like, I don't know why people like my game. So what do you think? what do you think is the hook or the stickiness of my game? Like, why are you following me? Why do you care about this game? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Yeah, I'm curious, what is the draw? I feel like I have my own idea of the draw, but what do you think it is? It was like one big moment for me. Another one was, I was meeting other game devs, and when I would ask them like, you know, where can I learn more about your game or find out about your game, they were sharing QR codes to their Discord servers, specifically for their game. And I don't have a Discord server, but they're, you know, building a community from scratch over there. But would you be interested in joining a Discord server specifically about Mole's Best Friend? I guess that's where I would post updates, including like new art, animation. Basically, before I make those promises though, like any interest in the Mole's Best Friend Discord, why or why not? I don't know, just let me know. I also went to a mentorship session. I was mostly asking about marketing strategy, and we talked about quite a bit, but something interesting that he mentioned was try to post as your character. Maybe I'll turn my Mole's Best Friend social media posts into Topo's POV. I'm thinking of doing something like Topo Takeover. I don't know. Mostly this excursion to PAX and Seattle was really validating for me that I feel like I'm heading in the right direction. I have something cool that I'm working on that people are interested in and want to learn more about. So if you found me through there, thank you for following me now. Super inspiring, ready to make this game be awesome and fun, and hope that you enjoy it as much as I do. All right, thank you. Have a great rest of your week. Bye.